Welcome to 21st Sports, and this is just an initial reaction to Super Bowl 50, our first thoughts, and what a defensive battle between two of the best defensive teams in this league. But it was the Broncos defense that just dominated in the trenches as they put heavy pressure on Cam Newton all night long. They were in the backfield, putting him on his back. 7 sacks for the Broncos defense, 2.5 for Von Miller, who ended up being the Super Bowl 50 MVP. Von Miller had an incredible game. He also forced a couple of fumbles. DeMarcus Ware had a pair of sacks as well. And Danny Trevathan with a couple of fumble recoveries. Also, Ward had a fumble recovery and an interception. And not to forget or leave out Malik Jackson, who recovered a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown early on in the game. Of course, that was off of a strip by Von Miller. So it started off early with the defense scoring a touchdown. Denver then went up 10-0. Then the defense coming up big in this game. Also special teams, Norwood with that big play that led to that field goal by McManus in the second quarter to make it 13-7. And the defense coming up big time in the second half as well, just shutting down the Panthers, allowing just 3 points in the second half, just 10 points in the game overall against a really tough offense. It's the Broncos just really dominating in those trenches up front. Wolf, Jackson putting on the pressure, and of course Von Miller and of course DeMarcus Ware also just getting in Cam Newton's face, just bringing a heavy pass rush all game. Marshall had a good game as well. Just all around, up and down the defense. Aqib Talib played amazing. I already said Trevathan and Ward also in there on some turnovers. And just a great effort all around by the defense of the Denver Broncos. The offense really didn't have to do too much. They only scored 1 touchdown, and that was by C.J. Anderson, who had a really good game, 90 yards in this game, and the only touchdown on offense for the Broncos in this contest. Of course, McManus also had a really good game. He was perfect in this game, 3 for 3 on the field goals, scoring 9 points there, and then also with the extra point, McManus putting up 10 points on the board. Brandon McManus scored as many points in this game as the Carolina Panthers. So, quite the game by McManus and by the Broncos defense and their special teams. And Peyton didn't even have to do too much. He only had 141 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. But he did a pretty good job protecting the ball. Even recovered a fumble at one point. But the Broncos just doing it with the defense, doing it up front in the trenches. And also on the offensive side, their offensive line opened up those holes for C.J. Anderson. And Anderson had a really good game. Hillman didn't really do anything. It was all Anderson. C.J. Anderson was Mr. Anderson in this game, just shutting down the Panthers as he was just kept the ball, on the field for the offense and, allowed them to give their defense some rest, even though the Panthers did win the battle of possession. But the Panthers getting a lot of penalties. The Broncos had half as many penalties, playing pretty mistake-free, but it was all about that defense and especially that pass rush, and that's how they won. That's why Von Miller, he's the Super Bowl 50 MVP. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Definitely interested to reach your thoughts and opinions. We'll be bringing you a full recap for the game, so keep an eye out for that. And again, thanks for listening, and I hope you had a good day and had a great weekend and enjoyed all the sports.